different, I swear.
Things you should know before you arrive to UK and after arriving to UK. This is a part 2 video of the video which I have already released a few days ago. So guys, if you would have not watched that video, go through that video first in order to know what you need to know first and then move on to this one. Hey guys, this is Nida Afreen, your personal advisor and coach from the channel Expand Your Brain, where we help you build your knowledge levels and help you achieve great success in all streams of your life. Now, let's just move on to the first topic. So the first thing that you need to do before you arrive or after arriving to UK is getting a phone contract. Now, is phone contract really important for you? These are the questions you need to ask yourself, because you can also get done with a SIM card. So when you are using a SIM card in your home country and when you arrive to an international country, obviously the calling charges and everything changes and it becomes very expensive. I'm sure you don't want to spend so expensive amounts here in order to communicate with the people you love. So make sure you buy a local SIM card here and recharge with a monthly bundle. It can be as low as £10 per month, and then you get Wi-Fi facility. You get your unlimited calls and text. So there are a lot of options which you can basically choose from. But just in case you do not wish to buy a SIM card and you think that your phone has also become very old and you would like to go with a bundle where you can also get a new phone with an exciting SIM card and good offers on it, then you can definitely go for phone contracts. The networks like O2, 3, Vodafone and Carphone Warehouse, these are very big brands here. So they offer you a phone with SIM card facility. So you can always go on their website, check for the offers and deals and pick up the most suitable deal according to your requirement. You can make an upfront cost on it, which can be as per your wish and will, how much you can pay, and then you can decide the EMI that you can pay per month. The EMI can be as low as £5 per month to 250 per month. So decide for your own self what is best and then go ahead with it. Now let's just look into the screen from where you can buy the product and how you can avail the services.
So let's just look into phone contracts, what options you have. So when you put phone contracts in Google, so these are the various search results that you get. So basically you get Shop EE, Affordable Mobiles, Mobile Phones Direct, Uswitch, Carphone Warehouse, Uswitch, Vodafone, O2, Tesco Mobile. So guys, all these websites are trustworthy, but I'm not pretty sure of this Shop EE and Affordable Mobiles. I'm familiar with Carphone Warehouse, Vodafone Direct, O2 and Tesco Mobile. So these are like some trustworthy websites. So let's just get into a contract Carphone Warehouse to see what options you have. So we were discussing about the phone contracts where you get a phone and also you get a SIM card along with it. So there are a lot of deals that goes on on these websites, whether it's O2, even on Vodafone websites or Virgin Media. So see, like you can see there's some sale now going on. So what you can do is pick up something which is more suitable as per your requirement. They are having some special offers, monthly deals in free SIM only, and a lot of options going on. So you can pick up from any of the deals which you think is suitable according to you. So if you want just mobile phones, you have mobile phone options here, various FAQs. So if you have got any kind of questions, all your questions will be answered here. If in case you still are not sure about something which you're not able to find here in the questions, you always have a helpline which you can see. So you can call them up on these numbers and check with them. So they are highly authenticated.
Coming to the next topic, which is the accommodation. I'm sure When you are moving to a new country, living in a good place is really important. I have covered in the previous video also about it, I think so. So let's just put a little more emphasis on accommodation. Now guys, when you're moving from a different country, I would recommend or suggest that you basically make an advance booking or arrangement before you come to the country. Reason being, after coming here, you shouldn't be panicking and you shouldn't be suffering. In detail on the screen how or where you can basically, on which websites basically you can go and make the bookings.
So guys, let's just look into accommodation. Accommodation is very important thing once you arrive here. Accommodation in London, okay. Let's just see, since most of the people who come from India, they come to London. So if you can see, there is something called booking.com, there's Amber Student, there are a couple of more search results here, if you can see. And then you've got student accommodation here, my student halls accommodation London, university living. So lot of multiple options you have, so go for the most trusted one. So I'm not quite familiar with this one, because I usually take help of Gumtree, or Amber Student is one good one, good website. Let's just look into Gumtree particularly. This is one good website. Maybe you'll be able to find some, accommodation. Go for the trusted ones, guys. You can you can take the cheapest ones depending on your budget, and if you're okay to spend lavishly, then you can go for the expensive ones also. So if you see, there's student paying guest accommodation in Hounslow, which is like 400 per month. Then there's something called 700 per month, 720 per month. So you see, there are a lot of options here. So depending on your budget and your place where you want to reside, you can choose. This is one good website. Apart from that, there are a lot of other websites also which you can see. I think I was mentioning about Amber Students, right? So let's just look into Amber Students if we can find something here. So guys, see, you have shared room option, you have entire place. So depending on what your uh, requirement is, like if you want to set your price, how much ever you want to, basically per week, per month, and all of that, you can actually set it and look for the options here. See, there's something in Westminster, so you have the pictures also available, and you also have studio apartments, you have 1 BHKs, you have halls. So let's just quickly look into the first option and see how it looks like. So you've got all the pictures here. So guys, if you see the price of the the accommodation is basically 222 709 per week. So you have an enquiry option here, so you can always enquire by clicking on it, just submitting your details. They'll get back to you, they'll call you, and they'll ask you what you're looking for, and then they'll show you, they'll book an appointment, and they'll take you for the tour also for the accommodation. So if it's they have posted the pictures already, so you can already see what how beautiful it looks, and so well furnished, and everything is there. So some of the accommodations are within the university itself, some of them are outside. Depending on your budget and what you're looking for, you can always find it. The thing is, most of the university most of the university accommodations are slightly on a higher rent basically per week, as compared to the ones which are outside, because if you're living in some place which is little far off from your university, or a little not so developed place, or you're sharing it with multiple people, then the rent will slightly come down. But if you're going for all kinds of facilities and you want, this kind of the one which you're looking in the pictures, this kind of facilities and all of these, then definitely the prices will be on a higher side, because you will get all the facilities, plus you will enjoy all the other benefits that you want. So make sure you book it according to the requirements what you're looking for, and then you will be peacefully landing into your favorite or your kind of accommodation. So there is no capping to the location. So you have so many locations, pictures, everything is available. Just put an inquiry, enter your name, email, phone number, they'll give you a call back, and then you can basically go and visit it, and you submit your documents. If they ask you for a passport, BRP and things like that, and then you will be ready to go, make a deposit, and then you can simply occupy it. So guys, hopefully this is giving you a lot of information. Do let me know in the comment section if you have any questions. I will further clarify, but in case you have nothing to say, then I'll be like very happy that I could give you all the information that's required. So make sure you do your proper research before you leave your country, so that everything is booked for you and you're not having any issues once you arrive in the country.
Now, the third thing and the most important thing that you need to do is getting registered under GP. Now, why is it important? Because the moment you arrive, you're coming to a new country, do not forget that you will definitely have adjusting issues, a lot of climatic and weather conditions that you will not be accustomed or used to. So you will definitely fall sick for we do not know what kind of reasons you can fall sick. So make sure that you register in your GP the moment you come, because that will help you in terms of connecting with the doctors as soon as possible. The moment you fall sick, book an appointment, and then you can basically show up and get your treatment done. There are various helplines and there are online applications as well in order to make a GP booking. So first and foremost thing will be, basically once you arrive, wherever you are living, just go fill the form either at GP itself, or you can also go for filling the online application form, which I will link in the description below for your ease to understand, and then you can register it online as well. Once you're registered, you can book an appointment, go for your blood test if you want to go for a regular checkup, or if you're fallen sick because of some XYZ reason, then you can always consult a doctor as soon as possible. You can always call them or you can make appointments online. That's up to you. I will link all the links in the description and also give you the helpline numbers during emergencies also, which you can call and check.
So guys, let's just look into GP registration. Now, why is it important? As you all know, this is basically NHS website that I'm getting into. So like I was mentioning, the moment you arrive in UK, it's better you just go ahead and apply or register yourself with a GP surgery, because you never know when you will fall sick and you basically require doctor's assistance. So here you see that there's a find a GP, where basically whichever is GP is near to you will be showing where you can basically visit and just do the formalities. But just in case you do not wish to do the formalities physically, you can download the registration form here, like you can see here, and then you can get done with it. So here we've got the customer contact center numbers. So if you have problems registering, you can always call them and just let them know what issues you're facing, and you have the option of changing the GP surgeries also, because if in case you're moving from one place to another, like you're changing your houses or something, you can always go and re-register somewhere else. So if you can see, there are how you can basically do appointments and bookings here. So you have your NHS app through which you can also, make the booking, and also call them, or you can visit the website. You can also order repeat prescriptions online. So you have all the links here, guys, and you can use the services. You can book, change, or cancel any appointment. You have got all kind of links and facilities here. So make sure you register yourself, then use the services as per your requirement. Call 111 in case it's an emergency and then you think that you basically need an emergency treatment, then you can always call them also. The ambulance will come and pick you up if they find that you are in serious condition. That kind of facility is also given. So make sure you register. This is very important and very important thing to look at the moment you come to UK. Hope this information is clear. I will also link all these links basically in the description for your ease.
Moving on to the next topic, guys. Now, what you need to do. Let's not just forget why we are coming to this country. We've come to this country because we want to study as well as get a fair, good paying job basically. So what you need to do for your CV and cover letter. Now, what I suggest is, instead of getting on to paying online for the services which are like very huge amounts and all of that, and you don't want to really incur those expenses, then the good option which you have is basically every university will have a placement cell or the career department inside. So you can book an appointment with them and you can get your CV checked through them. Now, the reason why I'm asking you to do this is because most of the time when we are actually we basically do our CV, we do not sometimes meet the requirements of the local market here. So in that case, sometimes our CV keeps getting rejected. So we do not understand where we are going wrong. So in that case, it's better always to have CV as per the local market. Now, the best people to help you out in terms of getting a CV as per this local market is the career or the placement cell basically, who are sitting there to help you day in day out to carve your CV as per this local market. I would definitely recommend you book an appointment in advance with them, sit with them, discuss with them what is right, what is wrong, and then make changes to your CV, and then you are good to go. However, there are some inbuilt CV builders which are there, which you can also do it by yourself if you think you're capable enough of doing it. There's no harm in it. But like I said, they are slightly on the expensive side. But since you're coming to the university and you have access to all the services within the university, I would recommend you go with university placement. But if in case you want to go ahead, then there are a lot of options online where you can go and basically build your CV and cover letter as per this local market. You will get a lot of templates and a lot of options to choose from, and then you can basically download one of the templates for your requirements. So let's just look into the screen to see what options do we have.
So guys, let's just look into CV builders quickly. So there are a lot of CV builders which are free. You can see there's CV Help, Online CV, My Perfect CV, Read.co.uk CV, then you got Live Career. A lot of search results out here. So you can pick up whichever you are familiar with and then just go ahead with it. I have worked on Live Career. This is one of the good websites, but I would personally recommend, in case because you're coming as a student and you will definitely visit your university which will have a placement cell in your university, I would definitely say that you should go ahead and use their services, because they will help you and guide you and tell you like in basically pruning your CV according to local markets here. They'll be the right guide for you. But in case you do not want to take their help, then you can come here. You've got various templates, and you can just upload the document which is in a simplified Word document format, and then just click on create a CV, and you'll have your format ready. You don't have to design, you don't have to do anything, you don't have to put any effort. One of the other reasons why I'm saying you not to go ahead with this, because these are all paid services, most of them. If you find free services, definitely go for it. But if in case it's something paid, then and you don't want to spend money on it, I would then say that you should go for the services within the university. Those people will take an appointment and book an appointment, and then they will definitely help you and guide you and tell you what needs to be done on your CV, and they will make your CV as per the local markets here. So hopefully this is so far helping you. Do let me know in the comment section if you have got any questions related to this particular topic.
So guys, we have covered almost so many points by far. The last point that I want to cover for you is Oyster Card. Oyster Card registration. Now, I've been asked to make a new video altogether on complete transportation of London, which definitely I will do because it's a huge topic and I really want to cover it in detail for you. But before we move ahead to that video, which I will come up later, let's just look into Oyster Card registration. Now, why you need to do an Oyster Card registration is because Oyster Card is a very, very important thing while you are traveling within UK. Now, there are various options to choose from. There are day cards, there are day traveling facilities, there are 7-day passes, there are 1 month passes. It all depends on you what you're looking for and how best you can save on your traveling expenses. Traveling can get really expensive, guys, if you're not taking utmost care. So make sure you choose the best plan for yourself so that you are traveling in least cost possible. There are normal Oyster cards, and then there are photo cards, Oyster cards. Now the difference between the two is, in a normal Oyster card, you'll be traveling in normal charges which are there on the website, which I will show you in some time. But in a photo card, as you're a student, you get some benefits. So definitely you will have a lot of difference in traveling when you travel through a student card. So make sure you register for the student card the moment you arrive. It'll take some 1 month or less than a month's time. It'll come to your home address where you basically fill your application. You will receive it by post, and then you can start traveling through any of the modes of transport that are available within UK.
So guys, let's just quickly look into Oyster Card registration. While I was telling you that Oyster Card is very important, so this is Oyster Card TFL website basically, where you can come here and register yourself. There are a lot of advantages of creating an account here and getting your Oyster Card. While you can also go for a normal Oyster Card, there are Oyster cards which basically are for students. So if you look into this photo cards, these are basically for students mostly. Reason I'm asking you to register for these cards is because definitely from normal fare point of view, it's you will definitely see a lot of difference in terms of what you'll be paying as a student and what you'll be paying as a normal adult. So go for student Oyster cards and get the most of it, like get most benefit out of it, like kind of a thing. And you have Oyster pay as you go, and which is like you have anything from £5 to £10 to £15, £30, any amount you can refill into it. So this is something which you have TFL customer service, service numbers and all. You can always give them calls in case you have any kind of questions, or also you're finding any difficulty. These people also keep you informed about any kind of congestions or disruptions that are happening to your journey. Then these people will keep you informed. So the advantage of signing in is because you will get all these kind of information also through this status updates and all of that. So if you see here on the website, where are the reduced services, where are the closures, where are the delays, and see things, all of them are showing here. So you can always go on this website and also download their app and get to know everything about it. Guys, this is a very huge topic actually. If you see, there's buses, traffic, there's there's national rails, there like a lot of options to travel within London, so within UK I mean. So I can definitely cover up one more video in order to show you everything in detail. So do let me know again in the comment section if you would like to see. I know in my previous video you guys have asked, so I will definitely do that for you. So I think for now, only knowing that you need to apply for a photo card, Oyster card is more important in order to gain a lot of benefits out of it.
Guys, hope this information which I have shared with you has helped you in terms of preparing well before you start traveling to UK for your study. Make sure you are thoroughly and well versed before you are actually coming to the country, because you would not want to fall into any kind of problems after you arrive here. Though you are coming to a well-developed country, I'm sure you will not face any kind of issues, but still, prevention is better than cure. That's what is believed in, right? So you have to make sure that you are doing your arrangements well in advance, and you are also making sure that everything is in place for you so that you have smooth journey and smooth onboarding when you arrive to the country. Do let me know in the comment section if you have got any questions or requests. I will definitely try to come up with a lot more new exciting videos for you. And if you found this information useful, do hit like, share and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you again. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.